Dun, 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 dun. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Denise Matteau here, and I'm returning to the original purpose of this channel for the moment. I mean, I will continue to do, because I promised some more history of how we got woke, how the woke virus infested society. I'm going to continue with that. But I'm also going to start picking up the thread, unintended, of my original channel purpose, which is creative frugality, or the simple life, or whatever you want to call it. And today I'm going to talk about the brain dead quilt. Let me see, I've got, okay. The brain dead quilt. This is brain dead. There is, whoops, you don't need to look at the back of it here. There is no rhyme or reason to this. You simply save all your little odds and ends, little random bits and pieces, and just what I do is I'll have a bag, my project bag, okay? I'll have a stack of them. Sew them, two pieces, two together, and you go through the whole pile. You know, and you have a small pile so that you can do it in an afternoon or a couple hours or whatever. And you don't, no rhyme or reason, just two pieces. Then you take your sewn two pieces and you put them together somehow. You know, just sew them together. Now you've got 4, 4, 4. Each time you do this, that pile is cut in half. I mean, the amount of work you're doing is cut in half because you're going 2 by 2 all the way through it. So it doesn't take very long before you reach your final piece, which is a big piece like this. Now, once you have approximately a yard square, 1 square yard or 1 square meter, you can start thinking about what you're going to do with it. You could be using it just to make a seat cushion or something like that. You could keep going and use it as a complete crazy quilt. When I was a child, we had one that my grandmother had made. My mother kept it in the closet, and whenever we had a cold or the flu, or in those days, kids went through all kinds of childhood illnesses, fevers, and whatnot. And that quilt would come out of the closet, and we had that till we got better. And it was all different fabrics, velvets, satins. I mean, she really put all kinds of fabrics into it, and it was all done like this. So, you know, you can keep going to, but what I like to do, I just had a bag out here. What did I do with it? That's not it. Oh, here it is. Okay. What I like to do, this is my little project bag, I like to do is cut it into strips and then sew them together into a jelly roll. Now this jelly roll is approximately long enough to get started on a twin size quilt. For me, that's a 35 squares, 5 across, 7 rows long, 10-inch squares. Now this is not 10 inches. This is approximately 5 inches, just to be sure. Yep, it's 5 inches with the border. So what I do is once I have the jelly roll, you have to stitch up the two sides. You can either just stitch straight through to stabilize it so that all these little pieces won't start unraveling. Or you can do what I did here, which is I put a little border. When I cut it into squares, I'll do the same border across. And then I've got in the same jelly roll. It happened, somebody gave me a pile of fabrics and yarns that they came across and didn't want. So I have this charm pack that I cut into triangles, 5-inch charm squares, cut into triangles, will be the way to turn these into diamond squares. And when I put these on, it'll be 10 inches. So you see, I'm not planning anything. It's just you have a stack of pieces, brain dead, just 2 by 2 by 2. Then you get to a point where you say, okay, I'm going to make this 5-inch jelly roll, and then put it aside. Let it sit till whatever you know. I was planning to maybe pick up something like possibly a check or polka dot or something. But then when these came into my hands, well, voila, off we go. It's got just about enough squares in this charm pack to make, or triangles I should say, to do it. And this will do half. So there'll be 2 of these on each square. And I do have some beige cloth that will mix nicely with these colors so that it will be a 2-toned diamond square in between the crazy quilt squares. So that's a brain dead quilt. Now, the other thing about this type of quilt is that, hold on a second, I dropped my bag. The other thing about this is that because you're using all these different fabrics, you have some denim, some heavy denims, some lightweight, this is polyester, this is a rayon knit, more polyester. I don't buy the polyester, but I come across it sometimes. People know that I quilt and stuff, so there is always somebody bringing me a bag of stuff. It's at the point where I want to hide because I don't want to bring anything more into the house. But because of all the differences and the fact that you are going in all these triangular ways, you're going to get some lumps. So I don't put flat batting in the sandwich, the quilt sandwich, when I make this. When it's finished, I'll find a nice, usually I'll go to Goodwill and find a nice heavy cotton sheet with, you know, if they've got any with good patterns for the backing of the quilt. But I will stuff it with an old comforter, another Goodwill find. And a comforter, nowadays you can pay close to $50 for one brand new. But Goodwill generally sells them for about $10. And if you go on Saturday when everything is half price, there, got your batting for $5 for your brain dead quilt. And it can come out looking nice. This one behind me, that's almost brain dead because I had blocks left over from other quilts that a few years ago I actually tried to run a quilt business. And one of the reasons why I do take on these woke people is that they campaigned to, I had a 5,000 person channel, and I was beginning to sell about $300 or $400 worth of quilts a month. And when you're on Social Security, that's significant. But there's a whole bunch of people who are, frankly, they don't consider themselves wealthy. But when you own a lot of land, and you own and raise horses, and you own several rental properties and a couple of businesses, and you're not even paying on your original home because it's in the family, you inherited your main house. When you're living the life in California as a performer, comedian, actress, and getting all kinds of financial aid to go get yourself college degrees, and you got your teaching position and everything else, you are well off. And these people are upper middle class, most of them. And they actually run a lot of the campaigns to attack channels. I first ran into this years ago when I had an eBay store. And that was before Katrina. And when Katrina hit, they attacked every single eBay store that was based in Louisiana. And these were Midwestern, mostly Midwestern, like the ones who own the rental property and everything that set up lists of businesses to attack. These are not, I had a business. And like I said, I'm on Social Security, and I'm not even at the maximum level because I didn't work that high paying of jobs. So my level of Social Security check is about 50, I'd say maybe 60% of the regular max. The regular max is somewhere around $2,500 a month. And I'm running at about 60% of that. So, this means something. And these people consider themselves wonderful people. They're not. They're greedy, disgusting predators. And they're liberals, Democrats. They're all Democrats. Every last one of them. And they target people. The eBay thing, they weren't even looking for people who were talking about politics. They targeted the Louisiana businesses because they said, well, Katrina just wiped you out, so how are you able to be selling and shipping stuff? These people in the Midwest are so damn ignorant that they didn't realize that you generally had... Katrina sat out on the Gulf for a full week before making landfall. People had a full week of knowing Louisiana was going to get hit, particularly New Orleans. They knew it. All the figures, everything was there. She was sitting on the Gulf building power. And if you live in a hurricane zone like Louisiana, the New Orleans section, you have a plan. I have a plan right now because I live on the Gulf Coast. I have my hurricane money set aside. I have my plan of what I'm going to do if we get another Harvey. And if you're running a business that relies on shipping items like the quilting business, you have a plan for that too. Most of these people, they either have family member or a storage unit rented outside of the hurricane zone. So if they're going to get hit, everything is trucked into that storage a day or two ahead of the hurricane. And when you're running something like an eBay business, all you need is your laptop. So you go stay in the storm shelter or your relative's house or a hotel, and you set up your laptop. You've got your storage unit full of the stuff that you sell, and you just keep going. But these Midwestern ignoramuses, the one that was leading the bunch in that particular attack was a family of NASCAR drivers. So you're looking at money, a lot of money. They claim they're just average Americans. They're not. They all are on lands that they own. They're all families of upper middle class people. I'm not begrudging them that. They work and earn what they got. But then their hobby is to look for people who are just happy to make $300 or $400 a month extra on top of whatever income they have and take us down and destroy us. Now, I said I wasn't going to do politics. I was going to keep doing the simple life. Well, I am doing the simple life. They destroyed my business. I'm not selling anymore. I'm in my 70s, going for 80s. So I'm just doing what I do. And I serve my community very well. Because I teach. I coordinate a food pantry. I teach frugal living, not from the sense of you've got to live poor, but creative frugal living. Live comfortably. One of the things I've noticed is that people today, even these wealthy idiots that are these predators, most of them don't have beautiful... They have beautiful homes in the sense of there's money in their structure. But a lot of them, I shouldn't say most of them, but a lot of them, their houses look like garbage. They don't try to have beautiful things. Yeah, I know, you're looking at a rather utilitarian scene behind me. I'm still working on a lot of that. I'm going to do a house tour of my place when I get it all done, which is going to be pretty soon. A couple of years ago, I looked around and realized I was beginning to look like a hoarder, and I started the purge, and it's a long process, the way I do it, because I don't do anything fast. And basically, the first thing you do is you stop acquiring new things. Stop accepting gift bags from the neighbors, whatever. Stop bringing new things in. Purge, purge, purge. And what I do is I'll choose a bin. The first thing I did was I threw everything into storage bins. And then I would take one bin and do a complete purge of it, pull things out, and know that I have to throw half of the stuff away. So I would set up 3 containers: keep, toss, maybe. And then I would take the maybe, keep and toss, keep and toss, keep and toss. And in that regards, I purged down to where that's my last corner. There's some stuff underneath that canvas curtain. And what I've got, this is a efficiency studio, you know. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful for the simple life. But instead of a built-in closet, what it has is a closet bar hanging out into the room, and I covered it with a curtain. I'm going to be picking up those beautiful canvas, hanging closet things that you can buy. They're very nice. I'm going to get a couple of those, possibly just one. And I'm going to purge that whole corner into that, and then my place is ready. I've got everything just about done. The only thing that I'm going to do after that to make this place beautiful is some nice a paint job on the walls and a little bit of finishing up. And the reason for doing this way is it's easier to keep things going if it looks beautiful when you've put the work into cleaning. So the frugal creativity or creative frugality is not to bring anything into your life that you don't need. Whatever you can get through secondhand. This is partly a budget thing, but it's also save the planet kind of thing, because we have created so much garbage. We're choking the life out of the earth and all of the people on it. I mean, if you look at these homeless camps, there's an incredible amount of junk that's just there. And people acquire it somehow without thinking. A person who's truly into minimalist survival wants to live in a tent in the street. If he's conscious of what he's doing, they're not going to produce all that garbage and junk. And it comes from some kind of mindless collection of stuff that we've been doing. I think it's like a species-wide mental illness in some ways. And the cure for it is creative frugality. Just really minimize the stuff that you bring into your life. Don't own anything without knowing why you own it. Okay? If you don't need it, don't own it. Simple as that. And like I say, the brain dead quilt thing, what I like about it is, you don't have to do all the fussing of setting up a pattern. I do patterned quilts. I like to do them. But then I always have this catches all the scraps. Nothing goes to waste. If it's too small to put into one of these patches, I drop it into my crumb bag, which becomes stuffing in a cushion. And so everything is used. And I'm really into fabric recycling at the moment, which is, you know, part of why I do this. So, anyway, I did rant a little more than I intended to, but just like the purging of the apartment, I guess I should purge some of the rant bit by bit. And God bless all of you. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe, share, put a comment, you know, tell me what you think, tell me what you want to see more of. Got some quilting and other frugal living ideas you want to share? Speak up. Mention your channel. You can, YouTube is funny. They won't let you really put a link in a comment, but put your channel name, because frequently people's names that you see next to the avatar is not the real channel name. Although you can check the channel. But anyway, encourage people to, if you've got a channel with content in it, go ahead and encourage people in the comments to click on your avatar and go visit your channel. Because we all need to keep real. We're going to have to do something about the way the algorithms are pushing all this artificial stuff. It's crazy. It's getting crazy. I mean, I think 50% of my YouTube feed at this point is AI slop. So the best thing to do, if you're a human being, is encourage people to visit your channel just because you're human. And that way we can keep our human community going while the AI slop sloshes around. Okay? Catch you next time. Denise Matteau, over and out.